The Marcos-Tantoco Nexus, Guardians of a Secret Filipino-Chinese Wealth Network. Part 4 of a 4-part series. For decades, the world believed Ferdinand Marcos built a hidden financial empire through secret gold, offshore accounts, and an elaborate web of loyalists. But what if Marcos was not the architect, but merely a custodian? What if the true power behind his wealth was an ancient Filipino-Chinese financial network that existed long before he rose to power? The financial machine that survived Marcos. Marcos's hidden wealth is often portrayed as a singular, personal fortune. But when he fell, the financial machine did not collapse. Instead, it shifted, continuing under new hands, still operating in the shadows. Many of Marcos's known assets were funneled through structures older than his presidency, suggesting he tapped into an existing system rather than creating one from scratch. Example: the Binondo Central Bank, the underground financial hub, allegedly operated by Filipino-Chinese elites, was rumored to have continued functioning even after Marcos's fall. The Filipino-Chinese connection. The Tantocos were more than Marcos's allies. They were deeply embedded in business and financial circles that had access to exclusive wealth networks. Who were the key figures connected to this wealth network? Benvenido Tantoco, trusted by Marcos, with a strong presence in Filipino-Chinese business circles. Roberto Ong Pin, an economic strategist who reportedly managed critical financial links between Marcos and offshore accounts. Other tycoons speculated to be in the network: Lucio Tan, Henry C., Eduardo Coanco, John Gokongwei, and J. Y. Campos, among other influential financiers. Some researchers and financial analysts suggest that the Marcos wealth was not entirely his own. It may have been part of a larger financial system that used gold, assets, and trade routes to consolidate power. Historical attempts to dismantle the wealth network. Throughout history, different colonial and foreign powers attempted to seize or dismantle this underground financial system. Spanish era. The Spanish colonial government attempted to confiscate Chinese Filipino assets through taxation, forced trade restrictions, and the infamous Binondo massacre to weaken their economic dominance. American era. The U.S. intelligence and military apparatus monitored Binondo's underground economy, attempting to regulate the secret financial transactions that persisted under their rule. Japanese occupation. The Japanese military aggressively pursued hidden gold reserves and wealth controlled by Filipino-Chinese elites, believing it to be a key economic resource during wartime. Gold, wealth, and offshore fortunes. How did Marcos gain access to this wealth? One theory suggests Marcos was a guardian of hidden pre-colonial gold, allegedly managed by Chinese Filipino financiers. There have been reports of gold-backed loans, secret Swiss accounts, and Marcos's financial trail in Hong Kong and China, all pointing to deeper connections. What happened after Marcos fell? Historical patterns suggest that financial networks adapt and evolve, often surviving beyond political upheavals. Yet, there's a key question: who inherited control of this financial system? The Marcos-Tantoco custodianship theory. If Marcos and Tantoco were merely stewards of an older wealth network, does the real power structure still exist today? Some analysts speculate that this financial empire did not vanish. It merely evolved, shifting control to new hands. This episode raises a critical question: is the Marcos-Tantoco financial machine, or what remains of it, still operating in secrecy? The series will now shift towards investigating who the modern custodians are and whether the financial structures of the past still influence wealth and power today. In closing, the fall of Marcos did not end the financial empire. It merely forced it to evolve. As we dig deeper, we uncover not just hidden gold or offshore accounts, but an entire economic underworld that has shaped the destiny of nations. In our next installment, we trace the hidden hands that inherited this system, unveiling the true custodians of wealth that has remained in the shadows for centuries.